All right, time to dig into something I know a lot of you are curious about: high-protein foods for weight loss.
Hmm.
We've got a ton of research here, and it seems like protein is way more than just another trendy diet buzzword.
It really is. We hear so much about protein helping you feel full and building muscle, but the science behind all that, well, it's actually pretty fascinating.
Okay, so let's break it down. I get that protein makes you feel full after you eat, but how does it actually work? What's going on there?
Hormones, that's the key. Specifically, these two, CCK and GLP-1. When you eat protein, your body releases those hormones and they send a signal to your brain.
So like they're telling my brain, hey, we're good here, time to stop eating.
Exactly. They're basically saying you're satisfied. And that's a big reason protein can be so helpful when you're trying to lose weight. Studies have actually shown that meals with lots of protein make people feel fuller compared to meals with more carbs or fats.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I know I definitely snack less after I eat a lot of protein. But what about all the talk that protein can actually boost your metabolism? Is there anything to that?
Absolutely. It's a thing. It's called the thermic effect of food, sometimes called thermogenesis. Basically, your body burns more calories just digesting protein than it does digesting carbs or fats.
Oh, wow. So that's interesting. How many calories are we talking about here, though? Is it enough to really make a difference if I'm trying to lose weight?
Well, studies show that digesting protein can increase how many calories you burn by something like 15 to 30% compared to carbs or fats. So yeah, I'd say it's something to think about.
Wow, that's actually more than I thought. So just by adding more protein to what I eat, I could be burning more calories all day long, even when I'm not working out.
Exactly. And here's something else. Another big plus for protein, especially when you're trying to lose weight, is that it helps you hold on to your muscle mass.
Okay, I've heard that.
Yeah.
But remind me why keeping muscle mass is so important. I mean, isn't losing weight the whole goal?
Well, it's about losing the right kind of weight, losing fat, not just overall weight. And muscle is really important for that. It burns more calories than fat, even when you're at rest.
So the more muscle I have, the more calories my body burns, even when I'm just chilling out.
That's the idea. A high-protein diet helps protect your muscles while you're losing weight, so you're not just losing water weight or precious muscle.
That makes a lot of sense. We've all heard about ghrelin, the hunger hormone. Does protein help with that at all?
Ghrelin is a powerful hormone, all right? It's the one that tells your brain, hey, you're hungry. And research has actually shown that diets high in protein can help regulate ghrelin levels.
So eating more protein could help me control those crazy cravings and not make bad snacking decisions.
Yep, that's the idea. By keeping ghrelin under control, protein can help you stick to your weight loss plan and avoid those moments where you feel totally out of control around food.
That's amazing to know. Okay, so let's get to the fun part, the actual food. Looking at all this research, there's a seriously impressive list of high-protein foods out there. I'm ready to move beyond the usual chicken breast and protein shakes. What else is out there?
Well, variety is key, not just for getting different nutrients, but also for keeping things interesting, something you can stick with. Let's start with some basics: lean meats and poultry.
All right, so we've got chicken breast, turkey breast, lean beef, pork tenderloin. What makes them such good options?
Well, they're really versatile and not hard to cook. You can grill them, bake them, add them to stir fries, so many possibilities.
I get that, but how do I make them a bit more exciting? I've kind of gotten stuck in this chicken and broccoli rut.
I hear you. Even with these lean meats, there are ways to jazz things up. Think about marinades, spices, different cuts. You can make a plain chicken breast taste amazing with a tasty marinade.
True. It's easy to get stuck, but yeah, a little experimenting can make a big difference. Okay, so what about seafood? I know it's good for you, but I'm not really a huge fan of fish.
Yeah, I get it. But there's a whole world of seafood out there, and some of it might surprise you. Take salmon, for example. Not only is it packed with protein, but it's also loaded with those omega-3 fatty acids, which are really good for you.
Right, omega-3s. I always hear good things about those. Can you remind me why they're so good, especially when it comes to losing weight?
Well, omega-3s are known to reduce inflammation in your body, and if you have chronic inflammation, it can make it harder to lose weight.
Oh, so by reducing inflammation, omega-3s could actually help my body be more ready to lose weight.
You got it. They can also improve something called insulin sensitivity, which helps keep your blood sugar stable and prevents those energy crashes that make you crave unhealthy stuff.
Now, salmon is starting to sound pretty good. But what if I don't want to cook a whole salmon fillet? Are there other ways to get omega-3s that are a little easier?
Oh, for sure. Canned tuna is a great choice. Lots of omega-3s and protein, and it's super easy. Throw it in a salad, make a quick tuna salad, or just eat it straight from the can.
Great tip. So what about other kinds of seafood? I know there are tons, but I'm looking for the ones that are high in protein and easy to cook.
Well, shrimp and cod are great options.
Yeah.
Lean, cook up fast, and you can use them in so many dishes.
Awesome, adding those to my list. Now let's talk about another protein superstar. Eggs. They're really having a moment in the health world.
Eggs are nutritional powerhouses. They have all 9 essential amino acids, which our bodies can't make themselves.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. I've always heard so many different things about eggs, especially about cholesterol. Is it really okay to eat them regularly?
There is a lot of bad info about eggs and cholesterol going around for a long time, but newer research has shown that the cholesterol you get from eggs doesn't have a big impact on blood cholesterol for most people.
So I can enjoy my morning omelet without worrying. Yeah, that's good to know.
Exactly. Eggs are just so versatile and nutritious, you can definitely enjoy them as part of a healthy diet.
Perfect. Okay, I'm feeling good about eggs now. Let's talk about dairy. I love yogurt, but there's so many kinds. What should I be looking for?
Greek yogurt is a really good choice. More protein than regular yogurt and less sugar.
Yeah, I've noticed Greek yogurt can be a bit tart. Any tips to make it taste better?
Oh, totally. You can add fruit, a little honey, or some granola to make a yummy snack or breakfast.
Love those ideas. What about other dairy stuff? I know cheese can be high in fat, but are there any cheeses that are good for protein without tons of calories?
Cottage cheese is a good one. Lots of protein and not a lot of fat or calories. You can eat it plain, add it to smoothies, or even use it in recipes.
Okay, some good options to remember. Now, I want to make sure we're not leaving out anyone who's plant-based.
Yeah.
What are some great protein sources for people who don't eat meat or dairy?
Oh, there are so many awesome plant-based proteins. Let's start with legumes. Beans, peas, chickpeas, they're all full of protein and fiber.
I love beans and lentils, but I'm kind of stuck on just adding them to soups and stews. Any ideas for using them in other ways?
Think beyond the soup bowl. You can throw them in salads, make veggie burgers, use them for dips, even mix them into pasta sauce.
Those are some great ideas. I need to get more creative with my legumes. Now, what about nuts and seeds? They're good snacks, but do they really have a lot of protein?
They can. Almonds are a great example. They've got good protein, fiber, and healthy fats.
I do love almonds.
Oh.
Any other nuts and seeds that are similar?
Walnuts are another good option. They're packed with protein, fiber, and those omega-3s. And don't forget about the little guys, chia seeds and flax seeds.
I've heard about chia seeds, but I'm not sure how to use them. They're so tiny.
Yeah, they are, but they're really versatile. You can sprinkle them on yogurt, add them to smoothies, even make chia seed pudding.
Okay, I'm putting chia seeds on my shopping list. Now, what about soy? It's gotten kind of a bad rap, but are soy products a good protein source?
Absolutely. Soy's got all 9 essential amino acids, and things like tofu, tempeh, edamame are all great for protein and other nutrients.
I've tried tofu before, but I never know how to make it taste good. What are your go-to ways to cook with it?
Think of tofu like a blank slate. It takes on whatever flavors you cook it with. Marinate it, stir-fry it, bake it, even crumble it up and use it like ground meat.
You know I'm sensing a theme here. Get creative in the kitchen. I think I'm ready to give tofu another shot. Okay, so for those times when I need a quick protein boost, what about protein powders? There are so many kinds, it's hard to know where to start.
Yeah, protein powders can be super convenient, especially if you're busy or you just have trouble getting enough protein from food.
Okay, but how do I choose the right kind? Whey, casein, plant-based? I mean, how do I know which one to use?
Whey protein is a popular one because your body absorbs it quickly, which makes it great to have after you work out.
So if I need a protein boost to help my muscles recover after a run, whey would be a good choice.
Yep, exactly. Now, casein protein digests more slowly, so it's a good option for before bed to help your muscles repair while you sleep.
Interesting. Okay, I'm learning a lot about protein. So what about plant-based protein powders? Do they have the same benefits as whey or casein?
They're becoming really popular, and there are some good ones out there. They usually come from things like pea protein, brown rice protein, or soy protein.
Wow, so there's a protein powder for everyone no matter what they eat. That's great. Okay, so now that we've covered all these amazing sources of protein.
Hold on a sec. We've covered a lot, so maybe let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about some easy ways to work all these protein powerhouses into your daily routine.
Good idea. We've given you plenty to digest, literally. Join us for part 2 of this deep dive, where we'll get down to the nitty-gritty of actually eating more protein every day.
Welcome back. So we've talked about why protein is so important, and we've explored all kinds of tasty sources. Now the big question is, how do we actually eat more protein every day? How do we make it work?
Yeah, that's the challenge, isn't it? Knowing about it is one thing, but making it happen, that's where the real results are. Exactly. So where do we begin? What are some easy ways to get more protein into our daily routine?
Well, one of the best things you can do is make protein a priority at every single meal. Don't save it for last. Think of it as the star of the show, the foundation of your plate.
Oh, interesting. So instead of my usual breakfast, which is pretty carb heavy, I should focus on getting some protein first.
Exactly. Think about things like eggs, Greek yogurt, even some leftovers from a dinner that had a lot of protein. Starting your day with protein can really help with your blood sugar, keep those cravings away, and give you more energy all morning long.
Yeah, that makes sense. I definitely noticed that when I don't have much protein at breakfast, I'm way more likely to grab something sugary mid-morning.
It's a pretty common thing.
Yeah.
Protein keeps your blood sugar levels stable, which can stop those energy dips that make you crave unhealthy snacks.
Okay, so protein at breakfast is key. What about lunch and dinner? Same idea.
Yep, same principle. Try to have a good source of protein at every meal. Grilled chicken or fish, lentil soup, tofu stir fry, there's so many options.
It's about finding what you like and what works with your life.
Exactly. And don't forget snacks. They can be a great way to add a little extra protein and avoid those energy crashes that can lead to not so great food choices.
Snacks are important to me. I snack a lot, but I'm so bored with plain nuts and hard-boiled eggs. I need some better ideas.
I get it. Snacking doesn't have to be boring at all. Think outside the box. Greek yogurt with some berries and nuts, a protein smoothie with spinach and almond milk, bell peppers and hummus, all kinds of stuff.
Now, those are some great ideas. I love that you can make snacks that are good for you and taste amazing too. But what about when I'm really craving something, something indulgent? Is there any way to satisfy those cravings without ruining all my hard work?
Oh, for sure. You can definitely make some healthy swaps and still enjoy the flavors you love. Like if you're craving something sweet, try chocolate avocado mousse. It's got protein and it's so good. Or Greek yogurt with a little honey.
Those sound delicious. I'm all about finding ways to have my cake and eat it too, as long as it's healthy.
Right. And if you're craving something savory, bake up some sweet potato fries instead of grabbing a bag of chips.
Sounds amazing. I'm gonna try that. Okay, so we talked about meals and snacks. Are there any other ways to sneak in more protein?
Totally. Here's an easy one. Add a scoop of protein powder to your oatmeal or smoothies in the morning. It bumps up the protein without changing the pace too much.
Yeah, I've tried that before, but I sometimes find protein powder kind of chalky. Any tips for avoiding that?
Yeah, try different brands and flavors until you find one you really like. You can also mix it with frozen fruit or put it in recipes that are already thick.
Okay, good to know. Now, how much protein are we actually supposed to be aiming for at each meal? Is there a magic number?
Well, it really depends on you, how active you are, your weight, and your goals. But a good starting point is something like 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal.
Okay, that helps a lot. But how do I actually know how much protein is in the stuff I'm eating? It's hard to keep track.
Definitely read those food labels. Look at the serving size and how many grams of protein are in each serving. You can even use those apps on your phone to track your protein.
Those are good tools.
Yeah.
Now, we've been talking a lot about meat and other animal products. What about for vegetarians and vegans? Anything special they need to think about?
Absolutely. Vegetarians and vegans have to make sure they're getting enough complete proteins.
Remind me about complete proteins again. Why are they so important?
Complete proteins have all 9 essential amino acids. Those are the ones our bodies can't make on their own. Usually, animal proteins are complete, but plant-based proteins might be missing 1 or 2 of those essential amino acids.
Right. So how can vegetarians and vegans make sure they're getting all the essential amino acids they need?
It's all about mixing it up. Combining different plant-based protein sources, like beans and rice. That's a classic combo that gives you a complete protein.
Good tip. So it's not just about eating enough protein, but also about getting different types of amino acids from different plant-based foods.
That's it. By mixing things up throughout the day, you're good to go. You'll get all those essential amino acids.
That's great to know. Now I'm thinking about exercise. I know protein is important for building muscle, but does it matter when I eat protein in relation to my workouts?
It does. Eating protein right after a workout can really help your muscles recover and grow. Try to have something with protein within an hour or two after you finish exercising.
So if I go for a run in the morning, I should make sure I have a protein-packed breakfast right after.
Exactly. And if you lift weights or do strength training, protein is super important for your muscles to repair and get stronger.
Makes sense. Now, I'm curious about protein supplements. Do I need them, or can I get all the protein I need from regular food?
You know, most people can definitely get enough protein from a balanced diet with lots of whole foods. But protein supplements can be helpful for people who have trouble getting enough from food alone, like athletes, older people, or anyone with certain dietary restrictions.
So supplements can be good sometimes, but they shouldn't be replacing real food.
That's right. Real food gives you so many nutrients and fiber that you won't find in supplements.
Okay, that's good to keep in mind. I'm already thinking about all the tasty, high-protein recipes I can try. I'm feeling inspired to cook. Any other tips before I go crazy at the grocery store?
Planning your meals and snacks ahead of time can really help. It keeps you on track and helps you avoid making bad choices when you're hungry.
I love meal prepping, so I'm all about planning ahead. It makes eating healthy so much easier.
Another thing, drink plenty of water. Water helps with everything, digestion, absorbing nutrients, and it can even help you lose weight because it makes you feel full.
Water is so important. I forget to drink enough sometimes, especially when I'm busy. I need to make a real effort to stay hydrated.
And last but not least, experiment. See what works for you. There's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to protein. Listen to your body, notice how different foods make you feel, and just adjust as you go.
That's great advice. It's about finding a way to eat protein that works for you and that you can stick with.
Exactly. And remember, you don't have to change everything at once. Start small, take baby steps, and slowly add more protein as you get used to it.
This has been so helpful. I'm feeling a lot more confident about getting more protein in my diet and actually enjoying it.
Great. I'm glad to hear it. And before we finish up, I have one last thing to leave you with.
All right, so we're back for the final part of our protein deep dives. We've covered a ton, the science, all those great food choices, and tons of practical tips. So what are your final thoughts for us? What should we really keep in mind?
You know, it's important to remember that just upping your protein, it's not like a magic solution for weight loss. It's a piece of the puzzle, it's a tool.
Right. Protein helps with feeling full, and it can boost your metabolism and help you keep your muscles, but it's not going to replace a healthy lifestyle.
Exactly. No single food or nutrient is the answer to everything. It's about the whole picture. Healthy eating, exercise, managing stress, getting enough sleep, all of it.
So yeah, more protein is great, but it works best as part of a bigger plan.
Right. And everyone's different. What works for one person might not be the best for someone else.
That's so important to remember. We've talked about so many protein sources, from meat to plant-based options, and there's so many ways to personalize it.
You've got to experiment. Find what you actually enjoy eating, what fits into your life, and what makes you feel your best.
I love that. It takes the pressure off and makes healthy eating seem so much easier.
It's not about being perfect, it's about making progress.
And I think with all the stuff we've learned in this deep dive, we've got some amazing tools to make real progress on our weight loss journey, whatever that looks like.
I hope so. I want to leave you with one last thought, something to think about. As you go about your day, really pay attention to how different foods make you feel. Do you notice a difference in your energy or how full you feel after a meal with lots of protein versus a meal that's mostly carbs or fat?
Oh, that's a great challenge.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times we just eat without really thinking about how our bodies are reacting to the food.
Exactly. When you start paying attention to how your body feels, you can start making better choices that really support your health and well-being.
Well, that's a wrap on our protein deep dive. I've learned so much, and I'm feeling super motivated to use all this new info.
I'm so glad. Remember, it's a journey, not a race. Just take it one step at a time and enjoy figuring out what works best for you.
That's perfect advice. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into all the amazing things out there.